Hi, Dad. Have you ever gone on a hike with your daughter? Just you and your daughter on a hike. Well, why would I talk about taking her on a hike? Just the two of you, where you can have some time. And there's just so many cool things that happen on a hike. Usually you're going out in the woods, by a lake. For me in Colorado, we're a lot of times hiking in the mountains. And so there's just a simple something that happens. But with a hike, you have a destination, you have a goal, so you can focus on that, and so you don't have to focus on what are we going to talk about. Because if you're going to talk about something, it'll happen on a hike, but you don't have to because you're on a hike. So a lot of times, man, this allows you to not be so worried about carrying the conversation. And you know on a hike, sometimes you'll throw out what I call a toss-up question, and you'll say, well, is school going well? And she'll say, yeah, things are going pretty well. And you say, oh, that's good. And if you're having a breakfast and here you are staring at each other, it's kind of hard to go, okay, what's next? Boy, that was my question. Well, now on a hike, you do use that question. You open it up, but you're hiking. So it's okay for you to just kind of what I call mull that, but also you get into this kind of quiet mind space where you don't have to have all these thoughts going through. And usually on a hike, it takes a while. It takes some time, 30 minutes or whatever, before your mind really clears and you can look around and you go, wow, look at these mountains. Oh, look at these trees. Look at how the path has changed. So there's all this activity going on. So back to our question. So you have this kind of awkward moment. You go, how's it going with school? Nothing's happening. Okay. And then what happens? You're just kind of going along, you're hiking, and your brain goes, oh, now this could be you, could be your daughter. It's just this processing that seems to happen when you're on a hike. So with that, you don't have to be embarrassed or whatever. You can just be relaxed. And so then something will go and you go, oh, so that's friend, what's her name? And then she'll start talking about it. But you had time to process it. So when it's this eyeball-to-eyeball deal, it changes the dynamic. And we want you, Dad, to be able to do that with your daughter. And we've talked about those skill sets before many times where you have to plan and you have to give multiple questions and it had to be open-ended, those kind of things. Different topic. A hike kind of can take care of that because you're on a hike. It takes that pressure off. And the other thing that happens is you can many times get philosophical and talk about your family and your personal struggles, and you can talk about, oh, I remember with my grandfather or my grandmother when we did this and we had this hike, and it just brings up a lot of things in a really easy, cheap way. So, Dad, I'm suggesting to you that you ask your daughter as an activity and say, you know, daughter, let's go on a hike. You don't have to plan it much. You just have to know the place. Make sure you got good shoes and some water, and bang, you're on your way to having a great conversation with your daughter. Very cheap, very easy, a lot of fun, and oh, by the way, it's very easy, Dad. If you've been having a hard time getting kind of these conversations going with your daughter, this is a great way to let a hike help you develop some relational time with your daughter. You can do this. It's easy. You'll enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by.